how should the 13th Ward show racial equity leadership in our city? What are we doing well and where are we falling short?
Yes, let's go with 2 minutes and 30 seconds on that.
Okay. Do I go first?
Go for it.
Right. Here are the things that I think we're doing really well in terms of showing racial equity leadership in our city. I think that in the 13th Ward, I've just seen a lot of people working hard this past year to educate ourselves. I see that happening book club by book club, Zoom call by Zoom call of people that get together for essential conversations. I see it neighborhood by neighborhood. I see some of our neighbors stand by with me as an ally in other parts of the city. Some of you showed up to Powderhorn Park with me back in June to listen to community after the killing of George Floyd by then MPD officer Derek Chauvin. There's the Just Deeds City program, but there's the other neighbors that have been working on removing racial covenants from their properties before the city had its own program for it. Those are ways we're doing good. I think we have to take conversations and stories that people share at face value to tell each other what's their reality. And I've honestly seen that happen more and more. And I think that the events of the past year, whether it be struggling with the pandemic or the worldwide reckoning about race that started in Minneapolis here at our front door. I think those things have maybe really helped people to put their guard down and to be a little bit more vulnerable. I don't really have advice on falling short. I see our neighborhood organizations growing in diversity in many ways, including racial equity. I see businesses being especially intentional. I see many community members being thoughtful. I can stop there.
So Ward 13, I think should first acknowledge that we have a disproportionate representation at the city level. 2 of the last 3 mayors have come from Ward 13. We have the biggest voter turnout of any ward usually. We have the highest incomes, home values. I mean, there's a lot in Ward 13 that has a disproportionate impact at the citywide level. And we already have that outsized impact. So what's unfortunate is that we've used that power, I think, to preserve and refine systems that work best for people that already live in places like Southwest Minneapolis. And Ward 13 can show leadership by moving forward with policies that benefit all Minneapolitans and not just wealthy white property owners. We can't, pat ourselves on the back because we have great parks and organics recyclings when, air in parts of Minneapolis is literally dangerous to breathe. I mean, we live in a big city. We should acknowledge that we're just 1/13 of that bigger city of Minneapolis. Actually less than that now because other parts of the city are growing faster because there's more housing density in those other parts of the city outside of Ward 13. So we're less than 1/13 of a very big city as of today. And at some point we need to decide if we're gonna act like Southwest Minneapolis or like Northeast Edina. So how do we be better Minneapolitans? I think the first thing we do is listen to our neighbors to show up in the city, in parts of the city beyond Southwest, beyond uptown or downtown. How often do you cross a freeway and go to a different space? How many people on this call have been to George Floyd Square? How many people on this call have gone to North Minneapolis in the last year? And I think getting outside of your comfort zone, if you care about pollution in Lake Harriet and Minnehaha Creek, you should care about the pollution from Northern Metal Recycling. And next time they have a chemical fire, you should be just as offended by that as if it were happening in Linden Hills. If your kid developed asthma because of the air quality around your home, you'd be furious. And I think it should still matter when it's your neighbor's kid. We should care about environmental justice in Ward 13. We should care about our outsized influence to advocate for the betterment of the city as a whole. And we should advocate for holistic public safety programs that prevent crime before it happens. Rather than build another billionaire sports stadium, we should invest in building places that have been most deeply impacted by overtly racist policies in our past. We should own those failures and work as a community to move forward from here.